My crush doesn't know I speak Japanese and overhear the conversation she had with her mother. About 6 months ago, I met this wonderful Japanese girl in uni. She had attended an international school in Japan, and her dad had worked in the US for 20 years, so she maintained native-level English and was able to study abroad here in the US very easily. Anyway, we hit it off really well and have a ton of things in common and became very close over the past few months. We often hang out at each other's places to watch anime or play video games, but so far it has been a very friendly and platonic relationship. Recently, I've begun to develop feelings for her, but I haven't really been able to muster up the courage to ask her out yet. I've been shot down several times in the past, so I've been very hesitant to going through confessions and heartbreak all over again. What I didn't tell her was that I had been learning Japanese on and off for about 6 years now. I'm very self-conscious and unconfident about my abilities, and the topic of me speaking Japanese never really came up, so I never mentioned it. I'm not exactly fluent, but I can understand a fair bit, and even though my speaking skills aren't very good, I can get around Japan perfectly fine, having spent a month there for travel. I also scanlate, provide free translations online, for manga on the side every once in a while to keep my language skills up, but I never really told her about it either. A few weeks ago, we were watching TV together when she had to take a call from her mother and excused herself to the kitchen to speak with her. I decided to play around on my phone while waiting, but I couldn't help but overhear the conversation she had with her. Based on her responses, her mother was essentially teasing her for me being her boyfriend and why she hasn't asked me out yet. I overheard her say something along the lines of, "I want to confess, but I don't want to get rejected. I'm still thinking about when and how I'm going to do it." Naturally, I became very excited. I tried to keep a straight face and not ask about it, but my heart was beating out of my chest at that very moment. I didn't want to pry and decided to just wait until she would just bring it up naturally when she's ready. Later on, she mentioned that her mother would be coming into town on a Saturday to bring some stuff over. We are usually at each other's places every weekend for a brief period of time just to get caught up with the latest anime episode. I told her no worries, I will just be in and out of her place so that I don't intrude on her family time. While watching the episode at her place, her mother ended up coming in early, so I had no choice but to say hi. I don't really know what came over me, but when her mother introduced herself to me in Japanese, I also responded back in Japanese. Back when I was visiting Japan, I got very accustomed to Japanese greetings when I met up with friends over there. So when I met her mom, the instinct immediately came back to me. She was an incredibly nice and polite person, and we had a full conversation about my major and future plans, etc. I looked back at my crush, apparently wide-eyed from me speaking Japanese to her mom, and I decided to excuse myself so that she could have some family time. Later in the day, she texted me that she didn't know I speak Japanese, and I replied, "Well, you never asked." This was apparently the worst response I could have given because she got very angry. I didn't think this would be a huge deal, but I guess it did reveal that I understood what she was saying when she talked about her feelings for me to her mom over the phone. She ended up getting very upset about hiding an important detail from her, which I didn't think would make her so angry at me. She felt betrayed that I kept a secret like his from her for so long, and I tried to apologize, but she doesn't want to speak to me right now, and I feel like I just blew my chances. Do I say sorry? Or let it just cool off? I don't feel like I did anything wrong, as I feel like me being able to understand Japanese shouldn't be a huge deal, but she's still upset with me and doesn't want to talk.